What up, YouTube? It's your man Logician back at it with another hot one. And I just want to talk about right quick how young women are being, well, women in general, but especially young women are being compromised. Their futures are being compromised by this extremely harmful and deceitful feminist agenda in America to destroy men. And what's happening is you have this entire movement this entire movement that is aimed at emasculating, you know, the the male half of the species here in America. And it's really, you know, the people up top, you know, it's the whole divide and conquer thing in order to rule and reign over the American people and you know, destroy their sense of freedom and independence. You have to destroy them from within, right? Rome, all of the great empires, you know, never were conquered by other empires, but they crumbled from within. You know, what better way to do that than to destroy the family unit and you know, create, you know, wars between the sexes, just like they did, you know, with the races. So this is really detrimental to young women in the end, because it creates an imbalance in society, and gives women twisted perspectives about life and about what, you know, traditional values and morals were held before, you know, by the people before, that allowed them to become successful and to build the America that we have now. You know, this whole thing about men aren't needed, you know, men are stupid, men don't know anything, you know, men are you know, only really supposed to be used as sperm depositories in human wallets. You know, when I hear a woman say, I can raise a child on my own, I'm an independent, strong, independent woman, well, how'd you get that child? You know what I mean? You know, so you want to lead a man off, but you want to, you know, take the kid away and you know, raise him on your own because you're a strong woman. We just use that man as a sperm repository, right? It's extremely detrimental, and I want to talk about the reasons why, as far as sexually for women. A lot of women are learning to objectify themselves as far as being, you know, sexual. You know, this whole false notion of sexual freedom and sexual liberation and all this other kind of stuff is really destroying a lot of young girls, because they don't have any structure or any proper perspective for which to place their sexuality. You know, there's no framework for it, and so the purpose of a woman's sexuality gets lost in the mix. For example, I'm looking at all this, you know, I'm looking at all these young women who are using their sexuality to get ahead, but at the same time are saying, well, I'm a strong woman, and, you know, I'm you know, this is my right to do this and do that, and I'm actually helping women out. But it's not really the case. You know, I got a lot of these models. I was listening to Melissa Ford was saying how she was a businesswoman and how she was a video model and blah blah blah, and talking about, you know, how, you know, she was a role model to young women, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, she may not have been shaking her butt in the video, but what she was doing was making money off of making money from taking her clothes off, right? She was making money off of her sexuality. No, she was not making money off of people. Nobody was asking her opinion on, you know, the political situation, you know, the U.S. Government's foreign policy in Iraq. You know what I mean? Nobody was asking her about, you know, what was being done for the environment, what was going to happen in 2012, nothing like that. She made her money and she got famous off of taking her clothes off, like a lot of young girls are doing. So by destroying the man and his ability to lead, and his ability to bring insight and his wisdom to, you know, the situation as far as families, communities, and the entire society is concerned, what you do is you handicap the woman, because there's nobody to really lead. right? I mean, women are extremely emotional and are socialized to be so in this country. So who's going to lead them? So they end up trying to lead themselves, but they end up digging themselves in holes. Well, I'm a strong, independent woman, but she doesn't want to be single. She ends up being single, but she doesn't want to be single for the rest of her life, right? So, you know, what do? You obviously are making the wrong choice. Well, I can raise a kid by my own, you know, I can do this, I can do that, but the child ends up being all messed up because the other half isn't there. So, you know, when you take the men out of the picture, you destroy the family unit. You got, you know, what you have is women not understanding that, you know, educated, strong, intelligent men are the type of people that they need to be around, and that they need to get guidance from, and they need to be in relationships with, right? So a lot of women are out here trying to, you know, get with men that they can dominate and overpower, but it's not helpful to them as a woman because it doesn't take the relationship anywhere. So another way that women are handicapped is that you know, back in the day, women used to look for a man, you know, that worked hard and that was educated. If a man was educated, that was a plus. Now, most men didn't go to college or go to university or nothing like that. If he did, you were like part of the aristocracy. Education was only for rich people. You know, it was only for wealthy people. You know, so nowadays, you got women saying, oh, well, you know, he's smart, but, you know, he's boring, or he's smart, but, you know, that means he's probably corny. But it's the reverse of you know, women seeking the type of men that built this country. Women sought men that you know, could take them to a higher level on an intellectual level. Women sought men that could provide a strong philosophical basis for you know, the political framework from which our country operated. The government affects everybody in this country, and it goes all the way down to the state government, the local government, and it, you know, filters all the way down to communities, right, and the families. So men are extremely important, and if you cut that off, women don't have anybody to lead them anywhere. So a lot of young girls now are saying, you know, that's not the kind of man I want. You know, I want a thug, I want a jerk, I want a bad boy, something exciting. This stuff, this nonsense they see on TV, this feminized television, you know, Tyra, you know, and all this other crap. You know, how come the feminists don't go after the Chloe and whatever show that is, the new show with the Kim Kardashian sisters, man, in Miami? Right, just two bras just going around, just wilding out. You know what I'm saying? They're not encouraging young women to go get an education, and they're not encouraging young women, you know, to better themselves in any way. They two rich bras that never had to work for anything in their life, wilding out, and that's all. You know, it's all this stuff on TV is all about this kind of nonsense, right? The average woman, that's not the average woman. So you got these girls out here trying to live this lifestyle and wanting to be a part of that, but it's not realistic. Right, but at the same time, you're destroying a man's ability to be a leader. You know, emasculating these young boys and feminizing them. So, you know, the entire society will collapse. You know, in a little while, if there's nobody to lead. If a man thinks he's supposed to follow a woman, and a woman feels that she's supposed to lead, but at the same time, her emotions get in the way of everything. She has no ability to use logic most of the time. You know, you in a complete rut. So. Y'all see me on part 2, where I'm going to finish this off.